Before I share my experience with adoption, I am pro-choice. I believe every woman should be allowed to decide what is right for her at that point in her life. I think that abortion should be legal in every state, and I believe that women should have the right to choose what they want to do with their body when and if they ever become pregnant. No matter how old they are, they should be able to choose what they want to do with their own body. I was 15 the very first time that I got pregnant. I found out that I was pregnant on my 15th birthday and had my first child right before I turned 16. So I was still only 15 when I gave birth. And I wanted to have an abortion. But I was advised against that by my mother and by the child's father. After deciding I was going to bring that child to term, I realized that this was not something that I was prepared for mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. I did not want to have a child. So I started looking into adoption. And I started looking into adoption way later in my pregnancy than I should have. I should have started way sooner, because by the time it was time to start, looking at adoptive parents, I was ready to give birth. So there was no time to really decide if these parents were going to be the right fit or how the adoption was going to work. So ultimately, my mother reached out to someone in my family and asked them if they would be willing to temporarily take over guardianship of my daughter until I was capable of being a parent. We got all the necessary paperwork and everything together, and at 15 years old, I flew across country with a newborn baby by myself to take my child to California to live with my aunt and uncle. This was such a traumatic experience. She was only a week old, and if you've ever flown with a newborn, probably not that newborn, it is a lot. So I'll just start there with everything, and then I will pick up in a part 2. But if you have any questions, please ask your questions in the comments, but make sure that you are kind about it. If you are not kind about it, you will be blocked. We are all adults and should be able to have an adult conversation about topics that are hard to discuss and still be kind to one another. And if you want to hear more about this story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget to like, comment, save, and share the video.